Hello Twitchers, I am of course your host Marty B. Welcome along to Inters Racing League season number 5, round number 8 tier. Number 1 at a brand new edition for this year in F1 23. Just imagine if Bahrain and Jeddah had a baby, it would be this track. First and only time actually held in 2021 with Lewis Hamilton getting the win, but of course it is new to us in this game. And I'll tell you what, it's actually created a lot of interesting racing so far this weekend, with tyre wear not being the only issue. Fuel has really ruined a lot of drivers' races in the closing stages. So 5.418 kilometres is the length, 29 laps is the distance, 16 corners, 10 to the right and 6 to the left, with just the one DRS zone down the main straight because there's no space for any others because you're just constantly on the throttle and going around a corner. So into qualifying we go, but before we do, I would like to welcome back into the skybox a very good friend of mine, the king of the live stats, and after being stranded on a desert island for the last few rounds, it gives me goosebumps to get him back in there, currently running 5th in the standings, my fellow prancing horse companion. As ever, I talk the garbage, and he talks the good stuff. Broseph Coop, welcome along.
Marty B, great to be back in here at Sky Race Control. Of course, we're in Qatar this evening, and I've got to have a shout out to the hospitality staff here because what a plate of food that they have just brought in for us here. I've just been smashing a whole bunch of camembert and some parmesan and cheese chives, artesian crackers. So very nice, very nice. Shout out to them. There's plenty of champagne on the flow. Of course, yep, we have a outstanding grid here once again, Tier 1 here at Inters Racing League. Well, my eyes straight away go to the prancing horses out there. I see G-Force and Crispy. We've got Jacko. We've actually got Sloth in the Alpine out on track at the moment. Sloth is he's one really quick driver, you've got to say. Actually finished sixth last weekend in Japan, Marty B, and he's been a pretty solid performer so far. His teammate Isign Rhino has been there from the beginning, pretty consistent. Isign Rhino currently sitting 11th overall on the Tier 1 standings with 27 points. Sloth is in P15 at the moment on 14, but he was obviously joined late after losing Tyler. So who have you got your eye on tonight, mate? We've got a few reserves. I'll just knock those out while I can. We've got, obviously, Sam is replacing the Williams TP Aussie 2K GOAT, who's missing again this evening. It's unfortunate. And Prince, teammate, is he actually doesn't have a teammate. No, well, he does. He's got a reserve tonight, and that's Quiet Cake, who's stepping up from Tier 3. So good on Quiet Cake for stepping up on short notice. But they really do need to sign a Tier 1 driver to help support Prince in his quest to go back to back to back. And, of course, in the AlphaTauri, we have Roscoe in there tonight. Yeah, so it's great to see Roscoe back on the grid there. He is supporting Broccolilli. And, unfortunately, in the Haas, that's who we're missing. We're missing Gillard. And, so actually Gillard, he's had an outstanding season so far, sitting P6 overall in the Tier 1 standings with 60 points. Just 7 points behind Verk in P5. So he's had a pretty good, outstanding season so far, Marty, and missing tonight, so that's going to hurt the Haas team. I'm pretty sure overall number 1 in the Constructors' Championship here.
Absolutely. So just looking, just actually thinking about the time trial board. Now, I know we don't like to take our times off the time trial board, but I can tell you that Nick Thompson is actually sitting in my friends list at the top with a 20.5. Nick Thompson uses no assists. He does use driving line, but he uses cockpit view. So let's just keep an eye on him throughout the race. I know it is everybody knows it's a mission to use the cockpit view, but that guy nails it. Just absolutely outstanding driver, so I'm looking forward to seeing how he goes around here. This track is just full throttle for, I think, from memory, it's over 80% full throttle. It's in the late 80s, it's like 87% you're at full throttle. There's only one hard braking zone, and that is into turn 6 for the hairpin. Other than that, you are just touching the brakes for the rotation of the car. This is new for us, Broseph. We haven't done this before, so I'm looking forward to commentating this race. Of course, we have seen a couple of races this weekend so far, Tier 3 and Tier 2 last night, which was very, very interesting. A lot of cars running out of fuel towards the end. I think
Shout out to Mercy.
And I think shout out to Medi, who actually held me up a wee bit on the last lap, to be honest, and I just got just a fraction over a tenth outside Battlecat and his 3-second penalty. So shout out to Battlecat too. Well done on the podium. You deserve that, mate. I know you might be listening out there, and thanks for all the stats you do behind the scenes. So there is the benchmark at 21.154. We should see into the 20s, I imagine, but not a bad lap at the moment from Brocco Sloth up there as well with the 21.2. What else can we see? Quiet Cake. So G-Force and the Ferraris, of course. I'm not biased, but I mean G-Force sitting. I'm going to go with third on the championship. Broseph?
Oh, duels. Yeah, that's correct. G-Force is third at the moment overall. Yeah, he's had an outstanding couple of rounds. He won, of course, last week in Japan. And he's won a couple of races in the last 3 rounds, so G-Force is doing really well. Sitting on 82 points. What is about 30... You'd have to say he's about, 80 points off Prince at the moment, and he's about 18 points off KLX in P2. So, Prince has just put in a 120.2, just absolutely smashed the field there by 5 tenths, Marty.
Oh, yeah. I thought we were going to see sort of mid-20s, if I'm honest, but that is just... Holy crap. That is rapid. Okay, and that's only his first run. So as Track Evolution goes, of course, Track Evolution is where the rubber gets laid down on the track, and it will get faster as qualifying goes on. 18 minutes in this session. We have just over 12 minutes to go. Only 8 drivers have actually put times on the board at the moment. So can you just tell us, what is the constructors standing at the moment, Broseph?
That's a really good question. It's about the only thing I don't have in front of me at the moment, so just give me half a second. I've got to say, G-Force in the Ferrari just puts in a 120.4 at the moment, so I think he'll be happier with that, just as a banker to begin with. We've also... Duels, you've got to say a 120.7. That's really quick from the McLaren driver. It's good to see Duels up in the top 3 there. So Haas is P1 overall in the standings on 395 points. Williams is right behind them in P2 on 377. And the outstanding team of Ferrari there, headed by Broseph Coop, myself, 373 points, just 4 points behind Williams. Aston Martin in P4 on 350. So just 23 points off Ferrari. You've got McLaren in P5. You've got to say they've had a pretty good run late. They've been coming up the board rather quickly on 338 points, so right behind Aston Martin. Mercedes in P6 in 297 points. Alpine P7, 258. Red Bull P8, 234. AlphaTauri P9, 220. And Alfa Romeo on 189 points. And you've got to say Alfa Romeo have been putting a pretty decent amount of points on the board since Timmy's taken over as team principal there.
Yeah, absolutely. Can I just ask where you're getting those standings from, by any chance? Is that from the Discord server? Is that up to date?
Yep, sure is.
Oh, okay. I might be looking at
after round 7. Yeah, if it's just above the tier 1, the tier 2, and the tier 3 on Discord. There you'll see the standings.
Overall teams. Sorry, you're absolutely right. Yeah. Absolutely right. I've been completely looking in the wrong place. That just goes to show I'm getting too old. Turning 38 in 9 days' time, mate, and obviously I just don't even know how to use technology anymore. That's absolutely brilliant. Well done, JC. Of course, you always talk the good stuff, mate. You're always good with the stats, and I know the guys out there listening, they always love to enjoy the information that is fed to them like soft, crushed up apple to a baby. It's just so smooth down the throat, and I love it. I'm sure everybody loves it. It's just so good all the time. It's all about delivery, isn't it?
And it's all about feeding the ego, you know what I mean? Everyone loves to hear their name being called out on stream.
Right, mate.
And to know they're in the top 5 or their podium, or, just get a bit of a highlight. That's what it's all about. So let's have a look. We'll just go down the list. So Extinct Body in the Alfa Romeo, sitting P7 at the moment. He's put in a pretty competitive time there, a 121.3. I-Signed Rhino P9. You've got Lorenz Bro, so he's the newly signed driver as well for Alfa Romeo. So both in the top 10. Timmy will be happy to see those blokes up there. Quiet Cake in P11. And then you've got the rest of those blokes from P12 down yet to settle at, Marty. So I think that some of these drivers have got a bit of feedback from the last 2 races in Tier 2 last night and Tier 3, where we saw the tyres, especially the hards, run off after about, they were at 45% after about 10 laps, I believe. And
they were great.
The mediums,
yeah,
the mediums falling off just as quick. And a 2-stop strategy ended up being the way to go at the end of the race for most drivers. So I think those handful of drivers that you see at the end there without a time, they are definitely saving a pair of new boots at the end, as you'd say, Marty.
Absolutely, a pair of new shoes. You would also say interesting the strategy. So obviously, I started. I had a bit of a shocker in the sprint, so I started off the back for the main race. Now I only did what I'm assuming is the two-stop because I started at the back and thought, you know what, I've got nothing to lose. Now it'll be interesting to see whether some of these guys running in the top 10, even the top 5, if they're going to run that two-stop strategy as well, because I do know if you go med hard or hard med, doesn't really matter. Like you say, they do wear quite significantly. As Nick Thompson goes P3.
20.7. Sorry.
That is only two. That's okay. That's only 2/10 off his time trial time. And I was talking to Nick Thompson, also known as the Thermometer or Tomahawk NZ, talking to him earlier in the week, and he said if he can get within 2 or 3 tenths of his time trial time, bit of a tongue twister, time trial time, he is happy. So that is about a 2.5 tenths outside his time trial. I'm pretty sure he'll be happy with that lap. Possibly a banker that's his first run, so P3 for him, and it looks like it could be ramping up for the Mercedes driver, Brycev.
Yeah, look, just staying on Nick Thompson, of course, we know him rather well. He's been racing for Alpha Tauri the last 2 seasons here at Inters Racing League. And you've got to say, since he was drafted, I wanted to bring him again to the Ferrari family where we converted from Alpha Tauri, but he was pinched early by Verk, #1 pick overall for Mercedes. And you've got to say, it's been an upgrade for Nick. He's sitting P4 overall in the standings with 72 points, right behind G-Force, and had a pretty outstanding, consistent season so far. So I think he's found a nice home in the Mercedes, and let's see if Verk can really pull something out. Looks like Verk is definitely going to go the two-stop strategy here today, and he missed last weekend, so I'm sure Verk will want to put some massive points back on the board after missing last weekend.
Yeah, a lot of tongue twisters going on at the moment, isn't there? The two-stop strategy. And Verk and the Verk Merc. Hopefully he can actually put out a banger. You might be right, though. I don't know whether this game is going to allow people to do that, though. I mean, obviously I did the sprint on the meds, and I did 1 lap. But then the feature did not give me 2 sets of meds for the race. I only had one med, 1 hard, and whatever softs I had sitting in the bin. So originally I was going to go med soft, but that didn't work out. So I'm not sure really what's going to happen with the tyre strategy. I don't know what they're giving back or what they hang on to. It's never really clear. And of course no one really has the answers. So I think you're right. Could be looking forward to maybe a soft strategy at some point. We did see a few start on the soft last night, as we see Duels there on the final turn, taking a wee bit of a squiggle in the rear end. We did see some soft strategies. Mine was mid-hard soft, which worked out well, but mate, I don't know what the bloody plan is around here, to be honest. We haven't actually done any league races here so far, so mate, it's anybody's guess.
Yeah, and you've got to say, since we have not done any league races here, that's probably a fair reason why a lot of drivers have been caught out with low fuel at the end. Unfortunately, Natobian, he had a great strategy yesterday, and he should have really won that race for Aston Martin. But that's why I tipped the hat to Mercy, because he took the win after I think Natobian dropped all the way back into P5. Unfortunate for him, but still a good snatch of points there. And I think Marty B, I think you finished right behind Battlecat in P4, and I think you've had a pretty outstanding season so far for Ferrari. If I'm not mistaken, you might be P1 after last night's results, or at least P2, pretty close to Gordo there.
Yeah, pretty close to points. Gordo not having such a good race himself, unfortunately. Shout out to you, Gordo, if you're listening, mate. Unlucky, but I look forward to more racing further down in the season. Yeah, could be a few points in it at the top. I know I was 1 point in front of Mercy going into last night's race, so that good result from Mercy could do the thing for him. So
shout out to Mercy, yeah, can't forget him. Yep, he's a tier 2. Actually, I'm pretty sure he's a tier 3 champion here at Inters Racing League a couple of seasons back. So of course Mercy's looking to get another championship under his belt, and he'll be right there at the end in contention, no doubt about that.
And in saying that, do you think it might be time, Broseph? Do you think it's that time? Do you think it's that time? The time of qualifying?
Yeah. Look, we've got who have we got? We might have an Aston Martin coming around, or have you got your eye on someone?
I was on with Quiet Cake just at the moment, but who else can we pick? He's actually just coming down to turn 1 now. We might have missed the boat on that one just a little bit. Who should we pick for the Marty B, the fresh Marty B hot lap around a track that we've never done? Marty B's a wee bit actually nervous about this, to be honest. I haven't done this one before, so I'm a little bit worried, but if we just wait.
It's got to be Sam in the Williams.
Sam in the Williams?
Now, Sam, yeah. He raced last night. A little bit unfortunate. He was he didn't have a great qualifying, so hopefully he goes better tonight. He was just caught out. When you go wide, just the word is failing me at the moment, but he got
track
one
limits?
lap in. It was track limits.
Invalidate is the word you're looking for.
Invalidate is the word I'm looking for.
I got you,
He had a really good, had a good start to the race, Sammy.
Yep.
And then there was an incident. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but ended up with rear wing damage, if I'm not mistaken, and he had to retire in pits because you just around here. Good luck keeping your rear end in a straight line with damage to his backside.
All right, so well, as ever, it is time to buckle up.
Up.
And neck up, you pelicans, because we're going hot round Qatar into turn 1 now. You just got to be on the throttle so early, and he did miss the apex there a wee bit on the throttle, just like an absolute line. Cut that a wee bit if you can on the power. Nice and early again as you go into 4th, 5th, short shifting 6th. Flat out, it's just absolutely flat out. 5th for this double right-hander now. You've got to cut the curb a wee bit. He's just missed an apex, and I'll tell you what, he's almost invalidated. Cut that one again there. Not too bad from Sammy at this stage, down into the hairpin. This is where a lot of passes, I reckon, are going to be made. You've got to try and make the most of the exit, and he does. That's fantastic from Sammy into this right-hander. This is 4th gear, if you like, for the rotation on the power. Nice and early, ride the curb on the exit like a bloody esports driver. If you can, flat out over that curb. You've got to ride the curbs, I'll tell you what, like a Shetland pony around here. He misses the apex a wee bit there. Car on the outside, maybe put him off on the entry, but he gets a good exit. Not too bad from Sammy. This is the high speed. This is the double right-hander, triple right-hander almost. You are flat out through here on a fresh set of soft tyres. It's a brand new set of shoes, flat out over the curb as well, missing that just a fraction. Wee bit of a lift now. The 6th gear will take you around the penultimate turn as he goes invalid. That might be, as he jumps into the pit lane. That is unfortunate. He does not have time.
No, he doesn't have time.
He does not have time.
Well,
that was almost a Marty B hot lap. That was almost a Marty B hot lap, but never mind. Shout out to you, Sammy. Oh, man. That was exciting. My blood is pumping. I'm looking forward to this race, Broseph. This is going to be a banger. These drivers... Oh, it's Verk Merck. Verk in the Verk Merck is actually... He's had enough. Of course, this is only qualifying for the sprint race, isn't it? So
it is.
It's like a double qualifying. You get one chance now, and then if you sort of go, do you know what? I've had enough. You get another chance in the sprint race, which of course we did see a lot of carnage. Lap 1, turn 2, tier 2 last night, and anything could change. You don't know what's going to happen. Or as he takes out the polystyrene boards there, does Crispy on his outlap. So a beautiful looking Ferrari in his McDonald's outfit.
It's stunning. I'm on board with Extinct Body at the moment. He's just going through the first sector, first couple of corners, just gone past, he's coming into turn 4 and 5 at the moment. You want to line these one up, get a nice exit. Don't compromise yourself like we saw Sammy did just slightly there. Hits the apex there, probably a little bit too much, but nice exit on the curb. Gets the car nice and straight. Coming into...
Oh, it's a lot of curb.
I've got no idea. That'll be about, turn 12, would it? Something like that. Absolutely no idea about this track.
By crikey, Marty B should know this, but he can't think.
At the moment. Yep,
he is in 10. That's 11 right 11.
There. Yep.
12, 13, 14 is the flat-out triple right-hander. You've got to be so savage on those curbs, Bryce. You've got to watch out for those sausage curbs, though. They are like two little yellow sausages on a barbie. You got to watch out that they don't catch on fire and take your car out of the race. So,
of course, going through that third sector, you could just about go flat out through those. Turn 13, 14, 15, and just come around 16 there. Of course, that's not flat, but I think he'd be pretty happy with that time. And he does.
Yep.
He does actually go better up into P7 with a 121.1. We've got a few drivers coming across the line now. I think G-Force might be coming across. Doesn't go any better.
Prince,
Marty?
Prince for some reason. Prince has run well. Why? Prince is invalidated. He will be.
Maddie's coming across. Duels goes up
I'm a noob.
120.5.
I'm a noob gets a 20.277. He is only 6/1,000ths behind Prince. That is rapid from the Haas driver. Absolutely rapid. G-Force P3 duels. Nick Thompson rounding out your top
coming
5.
Across the line. Crispy in the Ferrari improves to P12 with a 121.1. That's a pretty good bloody time there. If you look from about P7 down to where Crispy is, oh my goodness, there's
less than a second. There's 9/10.
Yeah, not much at all.
Not much at all. And that's all she wrote.
Yeah,
sorry?
P8 I meant. P8 from P12. There's less than.
Sorry, yeah.
That's, yeah,
it's about 8/10.
Separating about.
No, wait. Yeah.
I think it was 800s there, yeah.
Science!
5 drivers. Sorry, guys, we'll get there eventually.
We'll figure it out. It's only round 8. We haven't figured out our speech yet, but that's okay. So we'll just go through these. I think. Okay, all right. As everybody crosses the line, there are some times on the board. There they are. You can see them on the stream. Words. Oh my goodness. Yeah, 100%. Look at that bloody time between prints.
My friend?
No, I'm not at the moment. I'm having app IP and proxy issues at the moment. So Scotty is running the app. I wish I could,
beautiful.
but
okay, we have someone running the app.
We do have somebody running the app. I'm just going to flick over. It doesn't seem to connect for me. I can't. It just keeps saying disconnected, which I haven't changed anything, so it doesn't make sense. Whether my computer's updated or something.
Ever made sense, really?
Well, that's right.
Oh, you're talking about the app. Yeah,
I mean, well, also. So, I mean, should we take this opportunity, as we do every week, to just do a shout out? So, shout out to Codemasters. I'd like to thank you for such a fantastic game. You are definitely on my Christmas card list, and by Christmas card, I mean a bag of poo at your front door. And I just can't wait to spend hundreds of dollars. Actually, no. In saying that, I can wait to spend hundreds of dollars next season, because next year, as we've talked about previously, it's a new game. It's a new game. It's not just this game and the same as the last 10 games. It's a new game. Is that right? Are we actually getting a new game?
Yeah, from what I believe, yeah, they'll no longer make the F1 2024 for the old consoles. It'll only be for PS5. So apparently they're going to scrap the model that they've been using from 2013 and just put in code upon code upon code upon code for the last 10 years. And they're going to start at scratch. So that's the news anyway. So hopefully that's what we're going to get, a brand new game, from the ground up. And mate, I think that's going to be worth spending $100 on. Like, you can take my money then, you scoundrels.
Yeah, I'm sure there's other words that we'd all like to use out there, but shout out to the
Lap is on.
Shout out to the dictionary. Yes, Formation Lap is on, as the new update has hopefully, and as we've seen, it has actually sorted that out, the issue. So I mean, shout out to Cody's. Let's be honest, it hasn't given us issues so far in this weekend.
Update.
So in this update, update 167.400.8 thousand or whatever we're up to now. So let's just run through. There's already been some DSQs. That is Jaco and Sammy out. P17, P18. They have been disqualified. They will shoot back to the grid, where unfortunately the tyres will be of the refrigerator version, cooler than they need to be. So soft and hard. Lorenzbro on the soft, and Matty has decided to get a hard on early in the race. He must be very excited to have a hard on so early. But I mean,
he's excited to be in Qatar.
I think he's excited to be in Qatar. That. Yep. Everyone else has got a semi.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So Matty's obviously, he's keeping those faster tyres for the race, and reckons those hards are just. Yeah, they're trash, and you've got to say that they kind of did fall off at the same rate of the mediums. So if Matty can keep 2 sets of mediums, I think he'd be happier racing with those and a set of softs at the end as well. So maybe a two-stop for Matty, most definitely, you'd have to imagine. So interesting, different ploys here. Shout out to Slammer in the chat as well.
Actually, funny you say that. So now, just going back to what I said about my strap, where I thought I would have the meds that I used in the sprint. Obviously, they threw them in the rubbish bin. But if Matty's gone hards, does that now mean that he's got 2 meds for the race and a soft?
Yeah,
it does, doesn't it?
That's what I'd imagine that he's planning that will happen to him. Hopefully, he doesn't get. Hopefully, he doesn't get played.
That's the loophole. That's the loophole that I actually, to be honest, I never thought about that. Well, because I didn't know. I didn't know that they would throw the meds that I was using in the rubbish, even though they'd done 1 lap. Like, what a waste of money. God, Pirelli. Anyway.
Is that Verk in front of Matty there? I think he was trying to put him offline, getting into his slot. Hilarious. The boys. Oh, yeah. All right, so who are we going to be on board for?
Whoa, the tower just glitched out something horrible. I thought Nick Thompson was P3. Oh, okay, never mind. There's been a McLaren. That's Dools. Dools has gone. He is bogged down off the start. That is not a great one from the McLaren of Dools. So there is a few changes further up in the field. 3 wide, 4 wide.
Nick Thompson's got nowhere to go there. Yep.
Had
a good start.
He did, didn't he? As the Ferrari down the inside. G-Force goes down the inside of Amanoob, but he decides better of it as Amanoob takes that spot right back and says, thank you very much. Nick Thompson moved up 1 clicks there as well, getting done by Sloth F1. Yep,
sorry,
absolutely
the
done
on
him.
the outside of KLX at the moment.
There's
really
touching.
Trying to get this job done.
Down
He's got
to
the inside line
6.
here, Marty.
Oh, he does, absolutely. Too light.
Sends it.
Oh, what a beautiful view. Camera we have here, the McLarens at the back there of Dools and Matty AU trying to sort themselves out as well. Crispy fighting with Matty AU down in P14, P15 on this opening lap of the sprint race. 10 laps the distance, Meds and a little bit of soft and hard in there as well as they do try and figure out what is going on here.
Yeah, Extinct's having issues a bit further down the pack. I'm not sure if he's got wing damage, but he's letting a lot of cars go by.
Extinct, let's just try and find Extinct. There he is right there, P16. He might, let's have a look at the front of that car. He is, no he's not. No end plates missing on the Alfa Romeo.
Okay, copy
Looks
that.
like he's got a wee bit of pace at the moment. Past the pit entry we go now.
Dools gets the move done up on the inside of the Red Bull. Great little manoeuvre there.
Oh, good man. He's pulling some space too. I wonder what these guys are running for downforce. That'd be interesting to know. But
I sign Rhino. I'm sorry. Up on the inside of turn 1 on Broccolilli. Will he get this job done? Takes it nice. And, Broccolilli with a nice exit there. And he's going to get the run on the inside. I sign Rhino. Will just have to slide in the back there and get the nice toe behind the AlphaTauri.
Yep, down into turn 4. Turn 5 we go, then heading towards turn 6 of the hairpin now. Nick Thompson made up 1 place. Let's just have a look at the position changes at this stage. Lap 2 of the sprint race. Where are we? Position change. So not a lot of movers. Jacko up 6. Up 6. Lorenzbro up 2. Up 4 is Scotty from the rear of the field. Sammy up 1. Everyone else is pretty much where they started.
Jacko is not going to die wondering. Yep, he got a great little move on Lorenzo.
Death out of that corner. Oh my goodness, that was some aggressive moving from Jacko. Verk and the Verkmerk. Oof.
Marty, track limits is going to play a big factor here tonight. So Jacko being nice and aggressive early, you think hopefully he doesn't cut himself too many corners and get himself a few time penalties there.
Yeah, a lot of time penalties last night actually worked in my favour, worked in Battlecat's favour. A lot of 6 and 9 second penalties ahead in the top of the field there. But we're just going to have to wait and see. Hopefully these guys being Tier 1 should be able to keep their pants on the correct way around. What can you see?
Amanoob's just gotten in front of Prince. Sorry, down the front straight there, Marty.
Oh my goodness. All right.
So Noob, he's feeling a lot of pace in that house. He'll be missing his teammate Gillard, who's had an outstanding season.
Yeah, man. G-Force. Where's G-Force? He's dropped back a wee bit. G-Force, of course, started P3 after qualifying, so I guess, I mean, you don't need to push so hard on the sprint race, do you, really? You've just got to try and sort of stay where you were and just hope that you can keep the car in one piece and just keep those track limits to an absolute minimum. I think Prince running a wee bit wide there, that might have almost been a bit of a warning. Now, of course, 2 warnings, and then on the 3rd warning, you do get that penalty. Prince down 1 spot. And Dools down 9, Crispy down 2, and down 10 is Extinct. What can you see?
Crispy's around, is it? No, it's Lorenz. So both the Alfa Romeos are having a bit of trouble. Extinct Body did go into the pits, Marty, so there was issue with his car, and Lorenz, I'm not sure what happened there, but on those softs, maybe pushing a bit too hard, but got himself in a little bit of trouble. It looks like Scotty just got up on the outside of Crispy there.
He did. Scotty, Dools, where are the 2 McLarens? They are P12 and P17. Matty, of course, is on the hards. He has moved up 2. Hang on, where did Matty start? Let's just have a quick look there. Position change. Matty, sorry, down 2, not up 2. Started 15th, down 2. But I think
Jacko's had a moment. Verk's coming down the front straight. He's going to get the run on him. Yep,
of course, he is burning it up, though. He is burnt. Everyone's burning up a storm. Let's have a look at the batteries across the field. Everyone is less than 50%.
Dools up on the inside of Jacko. Just sent it,
goodness.
got the move done. That was brilliant there. Great racing so far, boys.
Prince back up into P1. Of course, he is fighting as Verk gets a pit. Verk and the Verk gets a 3-second penalty. That's 3
early.
warnings. That is early. Lap 4, 6 to go after this one. 6 to go including this one. That's not ideal.
No, he fought Jacko very hard there, so I'd imagine he would have just pushed it a little bit wide a few times, just trying to stay in behind Jacko nice and close, and got the move done on Dools, and I imagine that's where he picked up the time pen.
Yeah, I reckon it might be, actually. Dools, P11, Jacko, the 2 Red Bulls, 12 and 13, right next to each other at this stage of the race. So we'll just have a look over the rear wing of Jacko. Dools, Scotty quite far behind. 3 second for Lorenzbro. That's early. These guys are pushing hard, Broseph.
They sure are. And look, I don't blame them, because if you're not pushing hard, you're not going to keep up with some of these drivers. We've already see a bit of a gap out from, if you look down to about P8, P9, ISO and Rhino's just trying to hang on to that DRS. Verk's almost 2 seconds behind there, so if you're not up in the top 10, you're going to be left behind.
Yeah, I think Lorenzbro did not get DRS. Just looking over the rear wing of the Alpine, he did not get it.
Verk and Jacko, if you can get on board with this at the moment, and Dools coming into turn 1 and turn 2, magnificent there from those boys. Nice and clean, scrapping very hard. Crispy should be able to catch up on the back of this little scrap here, Marty.
Yeah, he'll be looking forward to taking up a few tenths out of his time, getting that DRS if he can. There is a wee bit of a DRS train going from P1 down to P number 8 at this stage. Only 3 or 4 tenths in between all of those drivers. But the DRS train also seems to be behind Ice Iron Rhino. His Extinct Body takes the fastest lap at a 22.5. That's not bad going from that bloke. 5 laps to go, including this one. The big mover might actually just be Jayco up in P11, and that Red Bull, of course, this isn't the race. This is just a sprint race, and as exciting as it is so far, we've still got a feature to go after this. So, who are you sitting on board with, Broseph?
At the moment, I'm on board with Broccolilli, who's behind his teammate, P7 Roscoe. But Broccolilli, he's up 3 positions at the moment, so he's actually put himself in the points in P8. So both AlphaTauris in the points. Got to be happy with that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you can't complain about that. Nick Thompson, of course, looking at the Mercedes there in G-Force. Still sitting exactly where they were. But I'll tell you what, Nick Thompson, he's really getting a good run on the Ferrari down towards turn 1 now. Of course, we know DRS isn't that powerful when you're already running a very high downforce car. It doesn't seem to make a huge amount of difference, but the slipstream, ERS and DRS all enabled. You should be able to make that pass and then just try and keep it in front through the first sector to try and create that gap, but not much gap at all. Prince, Marty, I'll tell you what, I'm a noob. Sorry, yes?
No, you go. I'm a noob.
I was going to say, I'm a noob. It's actually, he has. Prince is actually outside the DRS. Prince getting a wee bit squiggly there on the exit of 6 as well, coming into 7 now. Under pressure. But I wonder whether maybe Prince might not be too worried about this. He's just going to let I'm a noob go and just to look forward to the feature race at this stage of the sprint. I mean, there's only 4 to go, but we have a caution.
Yeah, Verk struggling. If we can get on board actually with Dools at the moment, he's a rocket ship out there. He's put a second and a half on Ice Iron Rhino in no time at all, and he's really trying to chase down Dools at the moment. Broccolilli at the moment. Had a slight moment. I think it was at maybe turn 10 there on the exit for Dools, but. He's really chasing down the points as fast as he can. Crispy picks up a 3-second time penalty. It's not what the Ferrari driver wants. Jacko's right on the back of Ice Iron Rhino coming down into turn 1. Let's have a look.
Oh, down the inside he goes. Plenty of pace. Oh. Look at that rear wing open.
KLX has got the move done on Tomo, and I'm a noob's around. The race leader.
Oh, he's going to have to wait for those cars to pass.
He's in the gravel.
He is in the gravel. That's a very, very sketchy re-entry there on, that is turn number, I'm going to say 10. I'm not sure where we are. Where are we? Turn number 2, sorry.
Yeah. I thought he got back on just in the nick of time. Like, for everything that was going on around him, I think he did a marvellous job at re-entry, if I'm really honest. Yep. Oh, no! Verk is out. I've just seen him go into the wall. Coming around out of turn 5, really squiggly, and the gravel traps around here. I've got to say, the gravel traps in this game, they don't do a great job of slowing the car down. They
really don't.
Yeah, they need to work on that. Yep.
That is safety car. So what is Quiet Cake going to do? He Is he going to box at the back? So who have we got? So we've got Extinct Body at the back. That'll bring him back into the race. Let's have a look at the tyres. Meds, I mean,
Prince
if you're
is
at the
boxing.
back, Prince is boxing? Prince is boxing. I don't know. Man, we're going to do 2 more under safety car. That's lap 9. There's going to be one, maybe 2. That was so close to a penalty.
Staying out. Nick Thompson is staying out.
I reckon that's the option.
Position.
I'd be staying out.
Track position. I think we're going to get 7, 8. Oh, okay, so this is lap 8. You know what? We're going to be racing after this lap right here.
Is that what Codemasters has done with the safety car?
I'm pretty sure you have to do at least 2 laps of racing. So 9, 10 will be racing. So KLX has gone right to P1, and I think he's going to get the business.
I mean, the bottom half, what has happened? Why have they... I mean, in 2 laps, you're not going to make up 10 positions, are you? Surely.
Interesting.
You can't. So Matty hasn't boxed. Matty's stayed out. That's smart. Matty has gone for track position because there's only so many cars you can pass in 1 lap. Admittedly, all of the cars behind him, poor bugger, are on soft. Oh, bless you, Matty.
He's right in the middle of Prince and G-Force.
Godspeed, Matty. Godspeed, mate. Yep.
He's in a Godspeed sandwich. That's where he is.
He's in a G-Force and Prince sandwich. Yep.
Down on your knees and pray, Matty. We'll be with you, mate. May the Force be with you. Not the G-Force, but, the Force that'll help you.
Are you saying Matty Force be with you? Oh, that doesn't really work. Damn it. I tried.
Matty Force. Yeah, anyway.
Matty Force be with you, but not the G-Force. But yes, the G-Force because he's in a Ferrari. Anyway, on with the show.
Anyway, you know what I mean.
We were trying. All right, the Alpha Tauris, I tell you what, P3 and P4 of Roscoe Arm, who will be keeping his Roscoe legs inside the car for this one because he is sitting on a podium finish for the sprint race. Safety car in this lap.
Is in.
Bryce, if you are correct, you called it, mate. You called it. That is it. That is all she wrote for safety car. Bert Mylander wants to go and have a cup of tea before we get on to the picture. Thanks, Codemasters. I'm not sure if that's good or not.
Once again, Prince in P10, G-Force P12. These guys were leading the race. KLX and Nick Thompson and Roscoe and Broccolilli are the big winners with Dools all the way up into P5. Dools was an absolute rocket ship earlier. Jacko up into P6, and they're going to be off and racing any second, Marty.
They really, really are. We're going to sit with the Alpha Tauri of Roscoe Arm on the restart now. KLX Clicks has not gone. He is still swerving. He is warming his tyres up old school, right down the main straight past the pit entry.
And he's gone.
It is green. He has gone. We are with Roscoe Arm. 5-second penalty, severe collision with Bra. Wow. Brocco gets the penalty. That may or may not be removed for any particular reason. You don't know until after the race. For the stewards that we see Jacko, Dulls, Crispy, G-Force, all changing positions at the start.
Oh!
Someone's gone around.
Sammy's had to take a little bit of averting action and someone just barreled into him. So that's unfortunate. Looks like Maddie's been caught up too in that. So I thought maybe G-Force. Yeah, G-Force got caught up there. Jacko
is the mover at this stage. Down to turn number 6 for him. And it's over rotation for the Red Bull. Oh, man, that was a rare brake lock if I've ever seen one as the Aston Martin goes past of Prince into P4. Prince was in P, what? That's what we was. Prince was in P10 or 11, wasn't he?
Yeah, P10. It's an
5 seconds ago.
Points here, Marty.
It really is, mate. It really is.
To go. And Prince is up on the inside of Roscoe.
Oh, what a banger from Prince. Let's just have a look. We're going to stick with this battle and see where Prince can get himself in the Aston Martin. Oh, God damn it.
How dare we doubt Prince?
How dare we doubt the old princess out there? He is showing us an absolute storm. As there is penalties galore. Like 18-year-olds passing out on the dance floor. They are just everywhere you look. There is penalties. And as I think Dools and Jaco just change positions down towards turn number 16 now onto the main straight.
Marty. It's going to be murder on the dance floor for Nick Thompson in a minute with Prince up on the inside.
Yeah, at the inside. He's not going to fight this one, I don't think. Yeah, he's just not.
Yep, smart.
That is the smart move. Very smart from Nick Thompson there.
He's got those soft tyres. KLX is going to be absolutely... plucking a few ball hairs at the moment.
He's going to be shivering in his. I nearly said some horrible things there, but he is going to be absolutely quaking in his boots. We are sitting on board with Prince now through the double right-hander down towards turn number 6. This is the final lap. Can he get the car rotated well and get a great exit? He can up the inside. ERS will be pressed.
Jesus.
Sorry.
Noob just manhandled Crispy.
I've heard Crispy likes being manhandled.
Crispy's just been squeezed out of the points there. Scotty's up into P8. So Prince is right on the back of KLX, Marty.
Oh, yeah, the exit there through. Oh, what a squiggle from KLX. But Prince up from P, like, he might as well have been P30. He's just had such a banger down the inside. KLX, he just cannot fight that one. That Williams has just not got enough grip. The fresh tyres are doing it for Prince, and that was the move. The other guys down the field not really making that stick. As a Ferrari goes round, who was that? That was, I didn't see who that was. That was Crispy going round.
Yeah, he won't be happy either.
Turn 14, yep. I think. It's unfortunate.
A few impatient drivers, I think, out there.
Yeah, but tell you what, cross the line.
Prince will take it.
Goes the Princess. He has taken it, and they go too wide. Who was that? That was Scotty fighting with Dools, I think.
I think it was Broccolilli, maybe.
Oh, sorry, Brocco.
Anyway.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, no, I think you were right. I think it was Dools and Scotty. Yeah.
Sloth gets the 5-second penalty.
So, Nick Thompson ends up P3 and KLX P2. Roscoe ended up working out for him by staying out there. Same with KLX. G-Force, unfortunately, got caught up in a bit of a collision and couldn't use those soft tyres like Prince did to get back up there. So, really went well for our defending champion, Prince, at the last lap and a half. Really murdered his way through there, and outstanding result there.
I think you nailed it when you said, how dare we doubt Prince, to be honest. But Click's doing a good drive there as well. Nick Thompson, P3. Roscoe Arm, as I said, keeping his Roscoe legs inside the car. Dools, P5. Scotty, Brocco, Armanoob, Jayco, Extinct, your top 10. Let's just run through this as well. Quaikick, G-Force. Silly pit stop for G-Force, I think, maybe, and some of the other guys that did box for the soft tyres. I don't know how Prince made that work, but I'll tell you what, he just had his foot on that throttle the entire time, because those softs are super aggressive for about 3 laps, and then they just drop off a cliff.
They do
horrendously. So anyway,
that was really good driving for the first 7 laps. Really good, and then it just got a bit scrappy at the end there. It was a mad rush for points at the end. Guys on a few mix of different tyres, and unfortunately around here, where I don't think there's a lot of practice around league racing around Qatar at the moment. Just catching a few drivers out, maybe missing a few braking points. Of course, not many of these drivers are using the assists. I think Battlecat called out about half the field, maybe 6 or 7 drivers who use absolutely no assists at all. So yeah, these things happen, but I think we're going to see a much better performance in the of just racecraft in the feature. We didn't see any safety cars on the last 2 tiers for Inters Racing League here last couple of nights, and I think the demonstration of the first 7 laps in the sprint is going to continue on. We're going to see some really good racing. Yeah,
I think we should. I totally agree. I mean, it's a new track. What is it? New track, new me? That's New Year's resolutions, isn't it? New year, new me. But this is new track, new me. And in this case, a few of these drivers have taken that really on board, and they have obviously put some practice on during the week, as I did, and as we all did. So, but I think in a split second around a track like this, when you're on the throttle all the time, when you're riding curbs like you have to around here, just anything could happen. Anything could change your life forever in this track. So that was the sprint. That was pretty exciting. So now we've got to do it all over again, Broseph, for 29 laps. Let's have a look at the tyres. We've got, I tell you what, that looks like a Christmas tree. There's a few different types of tyre strats going on here. I think maybe mid-hard, late soft could be the option for a few, but soft early could also be the choice to try and make a few moves and then run onto the hards and maybe even mids to close. We just don't even know. We just don't know. So as you can see up there on the stream, there are your tyre choices. I'm not going to go through them because they are a mix and match. What are your thoughts for 29 laps, Broseph? What do you reckon is going to happen?
Well, I'm just glad they brought all this food for us because it's outstanding.
Oh, look, now, if you'd like to just take a moment to have a bite to eat, we can accommodate that, and I can sort things out for a moment. I mean, obviously you're a starved human being, and you need to eat your good stuff.
Where did you get the seafood from?
It's here on the other side of the skybox.
Sorry, mate. we're in the middle of the desert here, and I'm just wondering where they get all this seafood from. Anyway.
I mean, it's the same old story. You see food and you eat it. So
That's it.
Yeah.
All right. So Prince is on the hards in P1.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. So Jacko, I think, in P9 is on the softs. I think he's going to be definitely the two-stopper. He's one of the cars that saved the extra tyres. So he's going to go as fast as he can. And as soon as, there's a safety car, a sniff of a virtual or whatever, he'll get in, change those tyres, and medium to the end. If he's, actually, he didn't. I think he ran the mediums in the sprint, so he'll have to go soft, medium, hard, or soft, hard, soft. Who knows? Anyway, let's get on board. Who are we going to get on board with?
You can take this away, mate. Who would you like to be on board with? We can jump on.
Right. I'm going to jump on with Dools in the McLaren in P5.
Copy. All yours, mate. Waiting for the lights.
All right, here at Qatar, round 8, Tier 1. We have all 5 lights, and they are out, so we will be off and racing right now. Oh, what a great start from Roscoe. He got off pretty quick. Scotty, actually, even the Red Bull up on the inside at the moment, looking to try and get a bit of Roscoe action on the inside. Will he send it? He absolutely does. He gets the position, but Roscoe's coming back and pushing hard. Looks like Scotty. Oh, Roscoe's on the inside. I think he's going to let Scotty go here, and he does. Outstanding, Scotty. Great move. And the Red Bull, of course, of Jacko. He's scrapping at the moment with Broccolilli on the outside of coming into turn 4. They're really pushing at these two. Broccolilli gets in front, and the house, of course, of I'm a noob coming in there as well. Bit of contact there. Jacko goes in the rear of one of those cars, and G-Force watching this unfold in front of him. What are you seeing, Marty, so far?
Oh, there's a little bit of carbon fibre running off the track there on turn 4, I think it might have been. I'm not sure who it came off at this stage of the race, but we will see if they do box. Might have been Extinct. I cannot see that. As Extinct goes right next to, who was that? That was on board with Dools, I think. Dools trying to have a look up the inside of the Alfa Romeo, but at this stage they are sorting themselves out pretty well. A little bit of argy-bargy, if I'm honest, but no one's DNF. So let's be honest, that's a good outcome for a new track on the new game. So Nick Thompson is still on P3. He's going to be looking to run long on those hards, but as we were saying, hards are actually wearing as hard as the mids. So I think the soft runners could actually have a wee bit of a go here early in the race. You want to make up positions because there's only the one DRS zone. So that's going to be interesting to see. G-Force is right up behind Jayco. Oh, Jayco looks like a rocket ship in a straight line. As Burke's out. Burke in the Burke Merc has retired in pit lane. That might have been the carbon fibre that we saw flying off the track. May have well been either floor damage or rear wing damage. Unfortunate. Shout out to you, Burke in the Burke Merc. Your teammate Nick Thompson will do you proud hopefully this evening. They've sorted
really
themselves out, Broseph. That is very unfortunate.
I'll tell you what, Dools, ISI and Rhino, Lorenz Bro, Sloth, they're all having a mad scrap. Sammy's just joined the pack. So, from about P11 down, they're having a bit of a go. G-Force as well, he's right on the back of I'm a Noob. Jacko's all the way up into P6, so he's going really well on those soft tyres at the moment, pushing hard. Looks like I'm a Noob's trying to go around G-Force, but he can't get that one done.
I think you'll find G-Force actually just passed I'm a Noob.
Okay, gotcha.
I think that's what just happened there. I saw a position change on the tower. There you go, the strategies on the screen. Hard to mid, lap 15 to lap 21. Soft mid.
Gone very wide, had to let about 3 cars go through there, including his teammate, and he's almost gone to the back of Dools.
Oh, I'm a Noob gets a penalty. Trouble. That's the first penalty. We're only on lap 2, and there's a penalty on the board. Jayco up from, let's have a look at the position change. Let's just go, whoopsie daisy, let's just go back to there. Jayco up 3. The big mover is actually Jayco or Sammy's, who's up 4. Roscoe.
KLX, sorry, my friend.
Are you right? KLX up 1.
Actually got the move done on Prince and he's almost pushing it out to a second there.
Yeah, what a banger. Let's just go back to the tyres. Oops, not that. I've forgotten how to work this game. Of course, KLX is on the mids, but I think the mids are a fantastic race tyre around here. Bro, so if they just are, the hards, admittedly they drop off, but they sort of, I don't know, the hards just drop off as much as the mids do, but the mids seem to be faster, even though they've dropped off a cliff.
The mids is definitely where it's at. Yeah.
It really is. So if you can make the mids work late-ish, I think I boxed maybe 2 laps longer than Not Jeff was telling me on the mids, so good old Not Jeff. I miss Jeff. Shout out to you, Jeff, if you're listening, mate. I know you're probably in the Bahamas somewhere slurping cocktails. But, yep. You got it. Yeah, you got that reference. Jeff. That's good. Yep.
No doubt about it.
Yep, no doubt about it.
Yep.
As we say, it's Crispies.
Just absolutely makes the heart grow fonder.
Yeah, it really does.
We used to hate Jeff.
We used to hate him. Now we miss his stupid, annoying, but yeah. Anyway, Ice Iron Rhino's gone round.
Unfortunate.
Unfortunate. Matty AU on the soft is, Matty AU on the mids. Just not really getting that car hooked up. 8 seconds behind. Must have had a moment. Let's have a look at the front of that car. Looks okay from here. Virtual safety car. What has happened? Jaco is in the pits. Let's have a look and see if that's a wing change. That was almost a penalty for that man. Is it a wing change?
No,
it's
just the
not.
tyres. So he's going hard off those soft tyres after 2 laps. You saw G-Force on the mediums really pushing Jacko there, so maybe not comfortable on those softs, and he's just taking the chance to box while he can, and I don't know, I don't think he'd be able to take those hards to the end. No, I don't think so.
Oh, 100% no. Definitely no. I mean, the hards were dropping off after like 10, 12 laps. They were in the 60% range after 10 or 12. So to do 25 laps on hards is just, it's not going to happen at all.
I did remind my drivers to make sure that they did not underfuel for this race. So the first safety car we see, so that's going to save a few drivers if they have decided to underfuel slightly. Hopefully it doesn't catch too many drivers out at the end, but yeah, this race is notorious for that, isn't it, Marty?
Oh, absolutely. As Ice Iron Rhino gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under safety car, he would have just been a little bit complacent. I did it in Belgium a few rounds ago. You just get a little bit complacent. You're too worried about catching up to the safety car. You're chatting on comms with your mates, and you just don't look at the delta for whatever reason. And I think that's probably what's happened to poor old Ice Iron Rhino on the hards. Down there in P18, of course, Verk and the Verk has DNF'd in this race, but everyone else seems to be keeping it on the track. Only a couple of penalties across the board. I'm a noob with that 3 second. Nothing else so far. Lap 5 of this race. My mouth has just completely lost control of itself.
Brocco just smoked Nick Thompson up the straight.
Yeah, I think that'll be the meds, but they're going to drop off pretty soon, though, Broseph, I reckon. Do you reckon? I think that'll be.
Yeah, you'd imagine.
You would imagine. Are you taking advantage of the pastries and the food allocation here in the skybox? Is that what that is?
Well, Crofty's absolutely pigging out, and I'm starving, and that bloke's eaten quite enough, as you can see, and so I'm just trying to get my helping in. That's all I'm doing, okay? All right?
Just get out your purse and just shovel some of it into your purse and just take it home. Just take it home with you to the after party, mate. That'll do. Jacob gets a 3 second as well. So we are starting to see the penalties creep up. There'll be a few warnings out there as well. Nick Thompson P4, Brocco P3, Prince in 2, and Calix on those beautiful meds. Let's have a look over the rear wing of the Williams. It's all right, Bros, if you have a feed, mate.
Get on board with G-Force if you don't mind, or get on the rear wing of Nick Thompson.
Ooh. Yeah, okay. Yeah, those meds. I'll tell you what, my mouth, I'm just going to throw my mouth in the garbage after this race. If Nick Thompson can hang on to that and just, as I do say that, I'll tell you what,
I'm a noob.
G-Force has got the DRS.
Jeez.
Bye.
Couple of moves. Yep. G-Force and I'm a noob both get the move done. I'm a noob on Scotty, and Roscoe actually looking to get the move done as well.
It's the Red Bull of Scotty. Almost rear ends Roscoe into that turn number 1. Too wide to go. Oof.
Up
turn 3.
P6.
Let's go.
Wow. Great racing there, boys.
Yeah, not a bad showing from I'm a Noob. Of course, had a little bit of an incident in the sprint race. Roscoe arm. He put his Roscoe leg just outside track limits there. Gets himself a penalty. So I'm a Noob up 2 from P8. G-Force is up 8. Positions from P12. That's fantastic from that bloke. Calix up 1. The biggest mover other than that is Sammy up 5 into P13 in the Williams. So we might start to see Ice Iron. Rhino gets a penalty as well. This is going to, honestly, down the track, this is going to make a big difference.
Yeah, he might be retiring, I'd say, Ice Iron Rhino. He's in the gravel at the moment and making a meal of it out there. He's staying out.
Is he going to stay out? Yep. Oh, it looks like there might be some rear wing damage for that guy.
Yeah.
A little bit of oversteer there into the final turn.
Undrivable.
Yeah, it does look pretty undrivable as KLX. KLX is about 5/10 from Prince, but Prince is just going to be sitting pretty. He's going to be waiting for those tyres of KLX to go off. DRS down the main straight, of course, for Prince as well, as it closes shut when he stamps on the brakes.
Gets the move done on Nick Thompson. I'm a noob up into P5 in the Haas, so he's pretty rapid in that Haas tonight, no doubt about it. Roscoe, Scotty still plugging away there at each other in P6 and P7, P8.
Yeah,
of course, our old teammates, Scotty and Roscoe at Alfa Romeo last season in Tier 1, and they did a marvellous job together, so it's great to see those two scrapping it out in Alpha Tauri and Red Bull. Of course, Scotty's the team principal for Red Bull.
He certainly is, and as we see, I'm a noob. I think just got a little bit of over-rotation there in turn 6, the hairpin, the notorious hairpin. But there's also a little bit of oversteer there into turn 7. That's not good for that car. Maybe those tyres could actually be going off already, but they're the hards, but they've only done 7 laps. So this is going to be interesting. These guys are going to be pushing pretty hard. Of course, they're closing the gap on each other, but then getting too close, and the tyres, I reckon, are probably overheating. For those who haven't done any practice during the week, it is 0 pressure on the rear. You just cannot have any on the rear. It almost needs to be negative pressure because they're sitting at about 101 degrees, which will literally burn your hands if you touch them. So that's probably why they wear gloves, right? I imagine.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Sloth's actually he's pushing pretty hard in the Alpine in P11 on Lorenzborough at the moment.
I just saw that.
Yeah, about 3/10 behind. I don't think he got the best run out of turn 16 there, but he's keeping the pressure on Lorenz. And of course, those two Alfa Romeos are both in the top 10 at the moment, so they're scrapping pretty hard, both on the 7-lap-old hard tyres, the Alfa Romeos. And of course, I'm a noob with the penalty. 3-second Roscoe with a 3-second penalty, Jacko and Isign Rhino.
Yeah, we're just sitting. I reckon the battle at the moment, to be honest, is between Extinct Body in P9 and Crispy in P12. Sloth is just, I think he's got a little bit more pace than Lorenzborough. So he might even just be waiting for the DRS if he can hang on to it. He doesn't have much battery left. Let's just have a quick, we're just going to run over the field real quick and just see what battery is remaining. Prince, as ever, is basically full of beans. Everyone else sort of seems to be either at 50-ish. Oh, it's a wee bit of a mix, actually. What can you see?
Well, Lorenz had a little bit of a squiggle, but not enough to really let Sloth get close enough to put any more pressure on than where he's been the last lap. And looks like, yeah, Lorenz is holding on pretty well through turns 12, 13, 14, and 15. So, yep, he's extended that one out, and we'll have to move a bit further up. Oh, we've got a yellow flag.
That is a car. That is, I think it's Isign Rhino.
Yeah,
he has enough. He's had enough. Shout out to you, mate. Unlucky, bro.
Yeah, tough luck. Alpine for the Alpine driver, Isign Rhino. Yeah, he's had a pretty consistent season.
Oh, I tell you what, Nick Thompson is battling with Roscoe Arm. I almost said Roscoe Leg. Roscoe Arm has kept his Roscoe legs inside the car, same as ever, and he's got past Nick Thompson up into P6. So Nick Thompson on the hards. He is the 4th of the hard runners in the top 10.
I've just seen Quiet Cat go round, unfortunately. He was just scrapping with duels there on the final turn, and just a bit heavy on the throttle there, and he's just touched the wall, so he's going to be missing a front end plate. Unfortunately there for Quiet Cake, but if he hangs in there, you never know, he could scrap a couple of points there with a couple of DNFs late. Yeah,
that's absolutely right. Missing a front left end plate, so that is a long way round. That is a minute and a half around without an end plate. Just trying to keep the car on the track, on the hards. He's going to box for lap 9, bro. So what is he going to box for? Mids, maybe? I mean, he's obviously started on hards. Yeah. Maybe you go mid-soft? Who knows?
Yeah. Just shout out to Quiet Cake for stepping in for his team. It's an honourable thing to do there for the missing seat for his team to step up from Tier 3, I must say, into Tier 1. So great job there.
Yep. Totally. Shout out to all the reserves. Shout out to everybody, in fact. We always enjoy watching Tier 1 racing here on a Sunday afternoon in the beautiful Wanganui, New Zealand.
Extinct Body. I'm sorry to cut you off there, Marty.
That's okay.
He's just got a great run there on Scotty down the front straight, and you're right, we absolutely do enjoy this league racing on Sunday afternoon. Just buried your lead there.
No, that's okay. No, we love it. myself and, of course, Broseph, we love getting on here and talking some absolute rubbish for an hour and a half. It's just a great way to spend a Sunday evening. A couple of brewskis. Of course, Sky Race Control puts on all of the food that you could ever want. And it's just a good time as duels. 24-1. I see Sloth down the bottom there has just actually... He has boxed. Shout out to Sloth. He's boxing for meds. As Clicks gets a 3 second. That might hurt Clicks a little bit later on the race. Broseph, the 3 second. I'll tell you what, that's no good for him. I wonder how many... Can we bring up the race director from this particular screen? Do you know?
I can. So let me have a look here. All right. Okay, let's have a look. So...
God, I feel so old. Don't know how to work it.
KLX has... Yeah, actually, who would you like me to check?
Probably just check Prince, maybe. The top 5. Let's go top 5.
Let's have a look.
So GeForce P4 at the moment. We'll just wait for those standings to come back to the information to come back to us. So DRS open for GeForce behind Broccolilly. GeForce P4, Brocco P3, of course, Clicks with that penalty in P2 that may hurt him as Prince. There's a little bit of knocking on the door. And Prince has 2 warnings, so that could well play into KLX's hands further down the track. We are only on lap 11, so there is 18 laps to go, including this one, if my science is correct. Something to that effect. As Quiet gets a 3 second, they're going to start rolling in pretty soon down to the hairpin of 6 we go. So we'll just keep an eye on that battle at the front. GeForce has
1 warning.
1 warning. That works in his favour. I can actually confidently say I only had 1 warning last night. As much as I had a shocker, 1 warning, and I was quite proud of that. But as Nick Thompson actually gets a 3 second penalty as well for track limits. It's all opening up here, Broseph. What else can you tell us?
I can see Broccolilly absolutely has no warnings at the moment. So, actually, no, he does. He has 1. He's just picked up 1 recently.
Oh, okay. Commentator's curse. As you said it, he got 1, maybe?
Pretty much.
We won't say that too loud.
I think Jacko's just picked up another one, has he?
Yeah, I think he has. Let's go for the penalties at this. What am I doing? Gosh, damn, I've forgotten how to work this game. All right, penalties, let's go. So, 3 seconds across the board.
KLX is in the pits, Marty.
Oh, yes, he is. Let's just have a look at the tyres. What is he going to go for? Is he going to go hard? He can't go hard to the end. This is when I boxed his lap 12, and they were garbage. Yep, he has gone hard, but there'll be... Yeah, we'll get the undercut.
Slight.
Or the undercut. Yeah. But
he's got to make up that 3 seconds somehow, you know, so... I think every little bit will try and help, and anyway, so I think this might give him a little bit of an advantage, just pitting a little bit earlier than those in front of him, which was Prince.
Yes. Let's just have a look at gap to leader. So, who has boxed? Let's just actually, where are we going here? God damn, I wish I knew how to work this game.
Prince is right on the back of Broccolilly at the moment. So, and Broccolilly had a big yep, had a bit of a moment there out of, pretty sure it was out of turn 8 and through 9 out of 10 at the moment. So he's holding on there to the back of Prince. He's got a 5/10 there. So he's still in DRS range, and GeForce as well. He's gotten right back into this mix-up here. He's in the DRS zone of Broccolilly in P2, so GeForce up in the P3 at the moment, and Ivanoob flying 3 seconds behind GeForce in P4. Ivanoob, he's unfortunately got that penalty. It's going to hurt him at the end. And Broccolilly is decided to box. Yep.
So Brocco's had enough of those meds. He's going to go for the undercut, probably on GeForce if he can. GeForce, the undercut is quite powerful around here. If you can just get those hards fired up very quickly, which isn't difficult with all of the high-speed turns, it's not hard to do that. Matty AU gets 3 second penalty. Penalties are edging up.
Crispy and Lorenz are going absolutely toe-to-toe down the front straight, and Crispy gets the move done in the Ferrari, pushing very hard up in P6. Great move there. Of course, Extinct Body in the Alpha is just pitted, so he's putting on fresh mediums. And a lot of these drivers, Dills picks up a 3 second penalty. A lot of these drivers are going to be doing a 2-stop, Marty. No doubt about that. Oh,
100%, Broseph. 100% 2-stop. It's got to be a 2-stop. You just can't run these tyres at this sort of degradation for the entirety of the race, which is quite silly. You would think that the hards would actually run longer than the mids, but they just don't even seem to. It's 12 to 15 at the most. Shout out to Cody's.
Shout out to Cody's.
Brocco.
KLX. Yep, just Sam let his teammate through there up in a P8 and P9, and Brocco's on the softs, is he?
Brocco's on the soft. Brocco started on hards, maybe, did he? I think he started on the hard tyre.
Well, I believe so, yeah. The majority up there were on hards.
Yeah.
Maybe Brocco was the exception. Maybe he was on mediums. Let me have a look.
I don't know whether softs mid-race are the answer. But, I mean, he's just gone purple middle sector.
Oh, Brocco has gone medium soft.
Oh, he's gone medium soft.
Yeah,
he's going mids again.
Two-stopper, yep.
There's a couple of cars. Oh, no. As the Red Bull does do a dummy into the pit lane. Around the outside goes Broccolilli on Jayco down to the main straight. But there will be DRS fully open like a windmill, as we all know historically. So as Lorenzbro does box, and Prince is in the box as well. So it is box across the board.
Yep.
And G-Force.
Scotty, yep. I'm a noob, and Nick Thompson on those 13-lap old medium hards are still out there, and Crispy's actually running those mediums long. He's done 13 laps on those mediums so far, so
yes,
you'd imagine he'll be next to box. But
I think that's the answer
there from Crispy.
I think that's the answer. Run the mids long, the mids to 14 or 15 if you can. Great position for Crispy at the moment. If you can run those mids long to 15 or something, I can't even imagine what percentage they're on, but if you can, then that means you can run the hards to the end, because I think the tyres were really sort of going off with about 3 to 4 laps to go. If you can run just a mid hard, you have a 25-second advantage on the rest of the field. But I mean, you sort of lose that with the tyre grip as well, you know. So it's like it's a toss off. What do you sort of? It's a toss off. It's a trade off. I meant.
We got like a toss up and a circle jerk every now and then.
Well, I mean, we do. Absolute. Speaking of tyres, we all have a rim job. So get the right rim on the tyre, and I mean, you know, just okay. That's enough of that. It's just that's just how we go. As I'll tell you what, into the box. Speaking of rim jobs, into the box goes I'm a noob, and Nick Thompson takes his hard 1 to P1, so he will be a box of fluffies up there in that Mercedes. But I imagine, I'll tell you what, he's going to be with that hards. He's going to be coming into the box.
Well, Crispy's decided to go another lap as well. So
yeah, that's
he's taking these. Yeah, he's taking these mediums. On a honeymoon, no doubt about extending the life on this one. You'd imagine he'll be in the box soon. Broccolilli, of course, is flying on those softs in P4 at the moment. The only runner in the top 16 on soft tyres, so he should be making inroads on KLX on those 3-lap old hards, you'd imagine. And Crispy's the only driver in the top 4 without a time penalty, so that'll work in his favour. Prince, of course, no time penalty in P5 as well. G-Force, and just as I say that, Brocco
gets a 3. Yeah. Man, he cut the death out of that corner. That was just not ideal. That was turn 10, I think you'll find. And he was just like, it wasn't even just an accident. He was just all over it, which I think, funnily enough, I think it's probably the advantage from the soft tyres. You don't expect them to be so grippy. What can you see?
KLX, Crispy is just going to box because KLX was about to just eat him for breakfast. He was all over that Ferrari on those 14-lap old mediums. KLX flying on those 3-lap old hards at the moment.
Yeah, the hards, I don't know, but hards and mids, often we say, you know, either mids of the race tyre or whatever, but in this case, it's much of a much. It's sort of 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. It's same. But Brocco shoots up into P1. He does. They're not going to last, though. Right, if they're not. The clicks...
Sloth.
Safety car.
Final turn. What happened there? Sam doesn't know whether to box or not. He decides to keep going.
Oh.
So Sloth on the final turn.
How has he done that? We can't even see the car.
He's put it in the wall. He's put it in the wall on the final turn. I'm pretty sure it's just hitting on that throttle a bit too early. Yeah. I saw quite that going in the wall there. So I think Sloth may have done the same thing. I'm not sure. This is just complete speculation, but that's where his car ended up on the final turn. So that's really unfortunate. That's both Alpines out, and Ads this afternoon's over.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, all the cars are
pretty much the TP for Alpine. Sorry, I should say.
Yes. Okay. Well, I mean, that throws a spanner in the works. Do you run mids to the end? This works out probably well for Jayco, who may go on to the mids. Possibly for Dulles if he's got hards. I can't remember what Dulles started on. But either Jaco or Dulles, depending on where they start or what they started on, this could even work well for Broccolili. To be honest, if he can go meds to the end, man, there's such a mix on the tower, eh? Such a mix of tyres and such a mix of strategies. Who is that in the pit? Brocco's in.
It's Jacko. Yep, he's going to get off those hards, and I'd say he's going to run mediums to the end. I'm sure he's got another pair of mediums there. He came in early, if you remember, off the Stoffs.
Yep. Yes.
Here are those mediums.
As Brocco goes hard. Yeah. Dulles 5 seconds speeding in the pit lane. Oh, that's a bit of an unfortunate moment from that man, but...
He was a rocket ship today, but you don't want to be that quick going into pit lane, so...
No, you don't.
Absolutely speeding chips because, McLaren have been having a real press lately. They've been... and Jacko comes out into P12, so he's lost quite a few positions there, but he'll have much fresher tyres than a few of those cars in front of him. But, as I was saying, those time penalties are really going to come into play at the end. Broccolili super unhappy with 6 seconds, and Jacko as well. Dulles with 8. It's just going to compromise their race, really.
It is. We've just got that up on the stream at the moment, so there is 3s and 6s across the board, apart from Dulles, which is a 5 second plus a 3 seconds. So 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane just right now, and 3 seconds for multiple track warning. So 6 seconds for Brocco. Hopefully the gaps can open up towards the end of the race, but if there is a late safety car, I mean that's where it really gets you. It's where those time penalties really throw you down the board. So at the moment,
Marty,
I guess
Marty B.
Yes.
Can we get on board with Matty AU, the McLaren driver?
Of course we can.
I've just thought of something.
Yes.
So
speak to me.
Matty AU, P15 is behind his teammate. Look, do you remember in season 3 of Inters Racing League where we were promoted into Tier 1?
How could I forget? Yes.
And we had PTSD pretty much every round from... I remember Prince just lapping me more often than not, and just saying enjoy your flight every time he'd go by.
It was never about...
You've got to say...
It was never about where we finished. It was just about whether we got lapped by Prince or not. Yes, that's right.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, Matty, you've got to say he's stepped up from Tier 2 last season, and that's exactly how we feel. Like Matty's in our position a few seasons ago. He's stepped up. I think he finished in the top 5 in Tier 2, but he was promoted to a Tier 1/Tier 2 driver at season's end, and was eligible to be drafted into Tier 1. And Mercy snaffled him up with a late pick. And he's been scrapping really hard, Matty. Let's have a look. Where is he in the championship at the moment? Tier 1. Yeah, so he's in P13 at the moment on 17 points. So
he's currently in P13 in the race.
Currently P13.
Oh, look at that.
Pretty much exactly where he should be. So if he improves at all tonight from P13, I'm sure Matty will be happy to secure any points. But yeah, just shout out to Matty for scrapping. It's not easy out there in Tier 1. If you're not up with the calibre of these drivers. I'm not saying that he's not, but more often than not, you're scrapping at the back of the field, and that's a sacrifice you've got to say that some drivers aren't willing to make. You know what I mean? Like they'd rather stay in the lower tiers and be up in the top and pushing all the time for podiums, and sometimes you've got to take your licks, gentlemen. So shout out to Matty for doing that. Just want to make that point. So there you go.
Yep, and I agree. Shout out to the drivers that just don't think they can, but do anyway, and stick with it. We were there. We've been there, done that, and it's an interesting time putting yourself up against these drivers. It's one thing for us to watch here on Sunday night and commentate and speculate on how fast or how not well they're doing or all these things. But you put yourself in, put your ass in the seat of one of these cars and race against some of these drivers, the likes of Prince, G-Force, Click, Scotty, Nick Thompson, all of the things. Of course, we raced with Nick Thompson during the week on Thursdays with practice, and it's just ridiculous how fast these guys are. And you think to yourself, like many of you out there listening, you think, how in the blimmin' heck are these guys finding an extra 6, 8, 9 tenths a lap? It just doesn't make sense. Yeah, second and a half. Sometimes it just doesn't make sense. You think, man, I'm getting the absolute most out of myself, out of my rig, out of my game, but these guys are going quicker, and it's just amazing the concentration it takes from the brain to really, because these corners are coming at you, especially this track, bro. So this track, the corners are coming at you, just one after the other. And the concentration it takes just blows my mind. We won't talk about it too much because it just gives me more PTSD, mate. But
yeah,
it's a whole thing.
I'm really glad that they added this track. I like the high speed corners. Yeah, it's one of my favourites. Look, I was really crap in qualifying. I wasn't quick, didn't get a lot of practice around this week, unfortunately. But look, we're just filling some time here talking. But in the sprint race, luckily enough, there was a fair bit of damage early on for a few cars to make their way through. It parted like the seas for me, and went from about P16 up to about P7, and I think I finished P6 in the sprint race, so that was good fun. But in the feature, just damage from lap 1, and went to pit on lap 4 and changed my wing, and the old auto change wing, my fault, didn't work, and ended up doing about 15 laps with a buggered front wing, and sometimes you have those races, don't you? There's not much you can do, and anyway, that's the way it goes. But I think Ferrari's in P1 in the Tier 2 standings. That's me and you, Marty, teammates. We're going to try and bring that constructors championship home, and hopefully you can pull a championship home for Ferrari. That would probably bring tears to my eyes at the end of the season. It'll be amazing. Of course, I was there with Alan Santa for Alpha Tower at the end of last season, down to the last race. Of course, Alan Santa was runner-up to Paddy in season 2, I believe, which was heartbreaking. Came down to the last race, and so to happen again for him to miss out on this championship.
Yep.
So we're just on board with KLX, coming around the last corner now, and he's going to put his foot down, and he'll see if he can get away from Prince, Marty.
No, he's not. He's always gone. Green. I was just going to say he's not until the final second, but I'm a noob gets done by... I'm a noob got done by somebody there. Sorry, Brocco got done by I'm a noob coming down the main pit straight as they do go too wide. Going defensive is I'm a noob in the Haas into turn 1 now, too wide. They go Ferrari up there as well as the Williams of KLX. Prince right in behind as well on the fresh-ish meds, as we do see a caution as well. There is a car out. That is... I'm not sure who that was. That's Quaicake. He is out.
No,
he's just not out. He is just around, but we'll go back up to the fight for P1 as I'll tell you what, G-Force in the Ferrari down to turn 6 now. He's down the inside of Prince, but doesn't quite get that done on the hards. Not enough grip there in those tyres. They're not quite warmed up yet. Too wide. They go now down towards the double right-hander.
I'm a noob around the outside of Roscoe. He gets a job done. I'm a noob. Great move there. Oh, it looks like... Brocco, absolutely up on the inside of Roscoe.
Caution as well. There's a Mercedes out. That's Nick Thompson. Nick Thompson's had a moment. That's unfortunate. That is at turn... that's a turn 10 somewhere there.
10, yeah.
Imagine we may see that possibly in the stewards, or it could just be lap 1 after the safety car jitters. Unfortunate for Nick Thompson. Luckily,
Jacko
it wasn't not...
Lorenzbro scrapping at the moment, coming into turn 16. I thought they were going to touch there, but Jacko has to just tuck in behind. I think he's got the pace on Lorenz.
There's a few track limits there for Crispy, Sam and Dulls, I think, on the final turn, exit of turn 16. That will be race director
Crispy's
stuff.
Got a good look at this. Sam won't die wondering in the Williams.
G-Force having a battle with I'm a noob. The Haas and Ferrari going side by side.
There's contact. Sam's made contact with Lorenz. Crispy's taking advantage up in a P10. They're all on the soft tyres apart from Lorenz, bro. There's I'm a noob as well. It's all happening.
Who just ran wide? That was Jaco running wide on the mids. Who was that? Sam. Crispy just got done by Sam in the rear. That sounds weird. Just got done by Sam. Just got absolutely demolished in the rear end. Unfortunately, Sammy gets a 3. Yeah, hopefully they use protection. That's right. Man. That was insane. We were on board.
All over Jacko at the moment. He's got older tyres too, so Jacko is struggling on those 4-lap old mediums.
Look at the mix of tyres across the board. It's all over the shop. There's about 18 different strategies going on here, even though there's only 16 cars on the track.
Oh, Jacko's picked up another time pen, so, you know, that's really going to hurt him. He's going to fall way back down the field. Brocco as well, and Jacko is boxing, so he did have damage. Dools is absolutely flying. He's got those 2-lap-old softs. He's on the back of Lorenz. It looks like I'm a noob. He is in front of KLX.
G-Force currently sitting P2. That's Jacko's out. Speeding in the pit lane, he has retired. Yep. That's the end of that. That is all she wrote.
Oh, Brocco up on the inside of G-Force gets the move done.
G-Force currently... I mean, G-Force is net P2 with those penalties. Brocco with 9 seconds. That's why G-Force would let him go. He's not even worried about that. And I'm a noob with the 3 second. Will take him down now to P6. That'll promote G-Force. If G-Force can get as quite... someone else goes... Quitecake's retired. Yep. I'll tell you what. Prince looking pretty good. Can you just have a look at the race director and tell us what G-Force currently has as in the way of warnings, Broseph? Can you tell us that information? Sure. So we'll just continue to look. So 3 seconds for both El Manoob and Clicks, and P2 and P3. Brocco sitting with 9 seconds, so he will be moving quite a way down the pack as we have 7 to go. Crispy gets a 3 second penalty. There is penalties across the board as much as there is confetti on the ground at a wedding.
G-Force has 2 warnings, so 1 more track limits, and he will receive a 3 second time penalty.
Oh, he is going to be playing it absolutely safe. He does there on the exit of turn 15. Just playing it absolutely safe. So, oops, let's just go back to tyres if we can. Tyres is that one there. So, how many people don't have penalties? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As Crispy does box
Dools.
And Brocco just gets done by Prince.
Absolutely flying. God, he's quick in that car. Just pulling away from Scotty like nothing else. I mean, he's got the DRS, but he's got the soft tyres as well, but he really does have a fast car in a straight line. And Crispy's
had enough too.
Tonight. Yeah, look, he didn't have a clean run out there, unfortunately, for Crispy, so he'll just have to shit at Crispy too. You know, he's a hell of a bloke, and unfortunately not his round, but he'll be back. He'll be back up there. Don't you worry about that. He's currently sitting P7 overall in Tier 1. Crispy, he's had a hell of a good season, fighting really hard on 55 points. So shout out to Crispy, my number 1 Tier 1 driver, apart from G-Force.
I would say first equal. Of course, there's no favourites in this game. You're all or nothing. So
1A, 1B, 1A, 1B. How about that?
Well, that's right. 1A, 1B. Yep. That's fair enough. G-Force P5.
Oh, he goes wide. Prince
is he's only sort of behind I'm a noob by, as Tetris would quote, by a pair of B's shoes. So he's just not even that far at all. Apparently I said that once, I don't remember, but a pair of B's shoes, and I think that's just a fantastic reference, because a pair of B's shoes must be quite tiny, and as the gap is not very big between Prince.
G-Force is absolutely flying past KLX down the straight, Marty.
State of that thing. Past the Williams he goes as I'm a noob gets done by Prince, but they're going to be switching, mixing and matching before the end of this race. 5 to go, including this one. So let's go. What else can we see is going to happen here? I'm a noob is just sticking all over the rear of Prince. Like poo on a blanket, I'll be honest. It's just all over that, and very, very hard to get rid of unless you put it on a tumble dry and a top-loading washing machine, if that's even a thing, but into the hairpin of 6. So we'll just keep an eye on that battle. Roscoe arm once again puts his Roscoe leg outside the track limits.
Scotty absolutely gets a move done on Sam, but Sam did give way there, it looked like. So yeah, good driving there from those two.
Good goodness. It was just good. Good goodness.
I'm just glad to see it. It's just good. So,
sometimes words are not necessary. I think it's just the word good or great just completely shows you exactly what's happening. The guys can see it on the screen anyway, bro. So they can see.
Let me tell you, the number 1 word used in streaming is interesting. It is used. So, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Oh, that'll be an interesting strategy. Oh, that'll be interesting.
Ironically,
that's overword used.
Ironically, that's very interesting to hear.
So there you go. Oh, Noob gets the job done down the straight on Prince. So as you said, they're going to be mixing and matching and a bit of a monster mash to the end here. But of course, Prince has not got a 3-second time penalty, so he should pick up the all the points. Someone down there's having a bit of trouble. Looks like Scotty and Sam are still scrapping with Extinct Body. Oh, Extinct, big snap.
Oh, Sammy! Sammy goes into the side of Nick Thompson. Oh, it's Clicks gets a 3 second. That's going to affect his race. G4. I tell you what, my mouth is just disgusting now. Oh, Sammy's pulling over. Is he retired?
He's just. I think he's had enough of the scraps, and he's just going to bring it home, and he'll get some points. So he's just going to bring that thing home.
I think he may have retired. It looks like he's an AI. I think he's actually retired on track. I don't think that's particularly ideal, but I think he may have just had enough. So let's just have a look further up the field. The gaps are starting to form, but I'll tell you where there is not a gap. Extinct Body in behind Scotty. Extinct, they're both on the same age of tyres, but different compounds. Hards for Scotty, and Extinct has got the meds. So they're going to be a little bit sketchy towards the end. So are the Hards, though. I mean, it's such a gamble whether you take the Hards or the meds to the end. I don't really know, but track limits are just going to play more of a game than the tyre strategy. Who do you reckon? Do you reckon someone's going to run out of fuel?
Oh,
it'll be interesting to see.
I reckon they will.
Down the outside goes a good run. Yep. Oh my goodness, who is flashing? That is Scotty. Scotty's flashing up a storm. Nick Thompson's got 30%. He's running pretty good into turn 1 down the inside. He goes. Let's have a look over the rear wing. The Red Bull can't do much about that.
No, Scotty tried to get the traction, and it just won't stick for him. Yeah. So Nick Thompson gets that move done there, up into P10 for the Merc, and is the only remaining Merc there. Of course, Verk, he was out very early on. Yep. Of course, wasn't being a jerk. He just couldn't keep the car on track, unfortunately. So that's the way it goes. Yep. So I'm a noob. You've got to say in the Haas, he's done outstanding to keep Prince at bay here for the last portion of this race. Broccolilli pushing really hard, of course. Too many time penalties, really going to hurt Broccolilli, but he's raced really hard tonight. Really impressive with that AlphaTauri drive. G-Force as well, 12-lap old hards. And KLX, those time penalties, too much for KLX to overcome, and that's really going to cost him, because there's one guy that he needs to chase down, and that's Prince up in a P2, who looks like he's going to take this win, Marty, and he's just going to extend his lead out to, possibly too much for the others to peel back.
Just extend his lead to science. I think was the way to say that.
We'll just go he was Verstappen.
Maximum Verstappen. Of course, he was 50 points ahead, I think, as you said at the start.
80. I think
80. Oh, it's just... Yeah, I mean, to be honest, Prince should probably just hang up his shoes and just give the next 2 races a miss. And, I mean, he can afford to, can't he? G-Force goes wide.
He was 80 points ahead of G-Force, and he's 50... Not even 50, is... Yeah,
pretty sure
like
it's 50 exactly. Oh, okay.
Yeah, 47 points ahead of KLX. Something like that.
All right.
Yeah. My maths isn't great, so whoever's calling me out, I don't care.
Yep. I mean, you can put your comments in the chat, but we don't look at it, so we don't care.
If you're waiting for a receipt, you're not going to get one.
Signed, sealed, not delivered would be the way to put that, and on with the show. So I can't see any comments on the screen. Doesn't matter.
So Tomo did get the move done. He's up in a P9. So it's well done from him, but that 3-second time penalty is going to, it's really going to hurt him at the end. He's going to drop those 2 positions, you'd imagine, and go back to P11. Oh,
it's going to be like a game of Scrabble at the end. Like it's just going to completely mix. In fact, it's going to be like an egg beater, I reckon, as Roscoe Arm gets done by Dulles. Dulles on the soft.
Yep, and picks up. So Roscoe's got 6-second time penalty. Lorenzbro, he's going to make up at least 1 position there, maybe 2, considering. We'll just see if Roscoe can scrap with Dulles. Lorenz might be able to make up a few more. KLX another time pen, so that's 9 seconds.
That's 9. Oh.
Yeah, it's not like KLX.
Yeah, pressure's on though.
Pushing hard.
New track, he's pushing hard.
Trying to catch up to the back of G-Force.
Yeah, G-Force needs to pick up a 10th, and then he's inside the 3 seconds for Amanoob. So it'll be Prince currently net P1. G-Force, if he can get under that 3 second and stay there for the next 2 laps, which he has and hasn't, and then hasn't. It's a bit like me in Battlecat last night. I just couldn't quite get under the 3 second. But if he can do that, G-Force will be net P2. He's just dropped sort of 4 tenths there, but across the board, I can't even be bothered doing the science. We're just going to have to wait and see what happens towards the end of the race. So 2 to go, Broseph. 1 to go,
yeah,
sorry.
Science.
Yeah, science.
Yep.
Shout out to science.
Yep. So Prince does get the run here, and back into P1 for Prince. So let's see if he can actually finish the race in P1 and get this job done on track. Imanoob is going to be pushing him to the very end. There's no doubt about it. What else have we seen? Oh, it looks like Broccolili's he's joined the party as well. And of course, he's been there all along, but he's right on the back of Imanoob now.
I'll
so
tell you
three
what,
cars.
Nick Thompson's just taken P7. He is flying on those something tires that he's on. Meds, 13-lap meds is Roscoe Arm. Wow. I don't think Nick Thompson's going to pick up 3 seconds in the space of this, but I'll tell you what, Lorenzbro probably just let him go. He was just like, just Lorenz go, mate, is what he would have been saying. Because he's not too worried about that, because Nick Thompson unfortunately has a 3-second penalty. Roscoe Arm 6. So honest, this is going to be interesting to see who finishes where over the finish line. It's going to be jumping around like a juggler, I reckon. I can't wait.
Look, Lorenz should jump up a few places.
He should.
He'll go up into P6.
Extinct will.
G-Force,
Scotty will.
Yep. We'll jump up.
As I'll tell you what, rounding turn number 16, it is the Princess who takes home the win in front of Imanoob. He does get it done. That is all she wrote. Imanoob coming home in P2, almost coming past Prince there, but giving him a bump for good luck. And Brocco P3, G-Force does jump up into P3. The G into 3, and Brocco P4, Dawes P5. At this stage, let's just see, what do the penalties do? What does the tower say? Nick Thompson goes up into P6. Extinct. Oh, Justin behind. That is going to be pretty much how it goes. KLX, with those penalties, ends up at the back.
Well, KLX, he had a moment because he was up into about, I think he was about P5 behind G-Force. And he must have had a moment, because I looked at the end there with about half a lap to go, and he was in P12. So obviously, not the best finish for KLX. Obviously picking up 9 seconds of penalties, and having a moment late. Really not the result that he wanted or needed. Like we said, trying to chase down Prince, who takes another victory here at Qatar. So outstanding there. Imanoob holds on to P2. And G-Force gets that P3, Marty. So in the end, maybe a few too many DNFs from the boys out there tonight, but it's a new track, and it's the way it goes. So overall, Prince, look at that, 33 points. He won the sprint and he wins the race, and that was a bit of a domination from the Aston Martin champion that we have here, mate.
Yeah, it really is. He'll just be out there thinking, I'm just going to sing you a song on my guitar and spin you a lullaby, because that's all she wrote. Signed, sealed, and in this case, delivered. So,
you know what? I reckon Prince is the type of bloke that probably would play a guitar.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, I reckon he could probably strum a few, serenade a few of the mamacitas. And,
mamacitas? Let's just quickly go through these results. I didn't realise we were Mexican. Brilliant. Love it. So, channeling your inner Chico Perez. Let's go, mamacita.
That's right.
Shout out to all the mamacitas out there.
And then Mexican mistress.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Well, that was a race.
Round.
It was another round. That was round 8.
Unfortunately, we're not going to get the Ferrari driver G-Force. He's a busy man these days. I do appreciate him stepping in to race in the Ferrari every Sunday. Imanoob, I believe, is the man with the issues with the headset. But we should get Prince in here. I know he loves an interview. We certainly do love to blow up his ego, and it's fully deserved too, because, mate, it's a privilege to watch Prince out there every week. Especially when he pulls off those things like we're like, oh, what an idiot! He's boxing.
Yeah, like in the sprint, like whatever.
What's he thinking? He's
What's he going on about?
He's just throwing the race away, and then
It just goes out and smashes it.
and then half a lap, we're like, oh, Prince is in P4. And then yeah, bloody lap later, he wins. So shout out Prince, you legend.
Shout out to Prince indeed. Can we get him in the comms chat? I know we're not using the normal chat that we have here, but we can actually...
Oh, yeah, shit.
Sorry,
my bad.
Due to science, we can actually get him in this technological
Sorry, Prince.
enhancement of a situation. Maybe?
Prince. There he is.
Yeah.
All right. He shall be jumping in any moment. And you can take it away with the Prince fan when he gets in here. I know you like a good chat with the champion at Inters Racing League, back-to-back champion.
Let's just see if we can just before he gets here. Let's just go to the showroom and just bring up that car of the Aston. There it is. As it spins around in the showroom, we have the man himself, the sprint race winner and the feature race winner, Princey, around the new track at Qatar, mate. How was that?
Yeah. Oh, fun. Did not expect the level of tyre wear.
Yeah, right. Hey.
But yeah, no, it was fun. I like this track. It's good. It's just a bit tough on tyres and fuel and track limits. Very tough.
Track limits. Yeah. What strat did you sort of think? I mean, did you put much practice in during the week?
Not really. But more than usual, so it was alright. Yeah,
more than usual.
Before.
Now, when you say more than usual, you mean like 45 minutes as opposed to 15, or?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I had a setup lying around, and I kind of got it tuned in.
Lying
quickly,
around.
So,
State of it.
Yeah, no, I felt good. Race was just not quite as good. I felt really good in quali. Yeah, the boys put up some really strong times, like low 20s is not a joke, so props to them. But
what strat did you sort of think you were going to, like, what was in your brain? You were like, oh, I'm going to go mid to hard or hard to mid, or did you think it was going to be a two-stop?
Oh, no, it's not a two-stop.
No?
I don't know, maybe it is.
Four-stop?
Look, I did a race at Qatar a few weeks ago, and I took the meds like 17 laps, almost no problem. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, no, I just think the game has changed or something. There's no way that it hasn't changed at this track. Yeah. Like, I'm just convinced, because on the hards, we're like 11 laps in, and
hards are
like
garbage.
They're on like 70%, and I'm like, what's going on here?
Doesn't make sense, eh?
It doesn't.
I will look back at the footage, but I think in that race I got to lap 12 and I boxed, and on hards, and they were like 48 or something. I was like, anyway, it's not a two-stop, but it's also tough to get them home. So,
I mean, with the virtuals and the safety car, it sort of does spice things up. As we looked at the tower towards the end of the race, with the mix of tyres that were going on, there was just anything from 2 laps to like 15 lap, hard, mid, soft, anybody's game. So, I mean, what are your thoughts about the entire race? Was it a shambles, or did you think it sort of played out how you thought it would?
Oh, I wouldn't say shambles. This is always, safety cars just throwing a bit into the mix. Today, at least, it didn't really impact the strategy that much. I suppose it would have impacted who got to the end or not a fair bit, but it wasn't as intrusive today as it might have been in previous races. But yeah, it was actually pretty simple. It was just managing the DRS train, really, and managing battery. Because you just can't charge the battery here unless you're in the DRS. So.
And how are you feeling going to the next few rounds? Of course, we've got Las Vegas, and I think is Miami in there somewhere.
Is it Vegas and Miami next?
Vegas and Miami. It is
Silverstone next.
Silverstone, and then is it Vegas and Miami somewhere?
We've got a Silverstone, and then the Hungaro Ring, and then Austria. Then Monaco.
Oh, so what? Oh, I must have read it wrong.
What calendar are you looking at, bro?
Oh, I don't know. I was talking about it with someone the other day. I'm sure it was weird. Maybe they were just talking about the races that are coming up. But anyway, how are you feeling? We're almost halfway through the season, round 8 we are. How are you feeling?
Yeah, it's good. There was big points on KLX tonight, and a few points on Leo. I think Leo will come into the fold here.
Yeah, boy.
You do.
So yeah, it's just a shame that he had a poor start. Otherwise, it would be a lot closer.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, it'd be good to see G-Force get up there and just push you a bit more up there with KLX. Yeah, it's good to see the scraps up there, and of course I'm a noob. Shout out to him who pushed you hard all day. I've got to say, were you sweating at all when you decided to box in that sprint race with what about 2.5 laps to go? Because you dropped down to P10. Was there any stress at all then? Because we thought your race was done.
I mean, I didn't have to pit. The call, like, on paper is probably to stay out. I did get a bit lucky, but I don't know, I just sent it. We'll just see what happens. I was kind of using it as a marker for the race, because, like, I didn't know how good the softs would be, and they were pretty good. So, yeah, I think it was the wrong call. It worked out, but yeah. I didn't expect to quite come out P10. I thought I'd be like P7 or 8. I thought a couple more people would box, but...
I mean, everyone else that boxed for soft on that lap 8, they did not do as well as you did. They seemed to... Maybe they just got stuck behind a few cars, but...
There's great advantage in being the first soft runner, and I knew that as well. So it's like, even if I was P14, if I was the first soft runner, because, you know, you go and you overtake someone, and the guy behind you on softs, so that would have been Leo. I don't think it was Leo, I think Mattia was between, but I think he would have dispatched him pretty quickly. If you pass someone, and then... you know, they get put out of position, they cut across a corner, and that holds up the new tyre runners behind. So, yeah, it's always an advantage to be the front guy. But yeah, it was pretty crazy that last couple of laps. I was like making overtakes like 2 people on the outside, and I was the inside in one corner. It was crazy. Like, if the new tyres, like, I felt like I had a rocket ship. You know, the other cars were F2 cars.
Yeah, looked like it. Yeah, it was outstanding. So, yep, the call paid off. Congratulations. Win on the sprint and win on the feature. So we'll see you next weekend at Silverstone, Prince.
Thanks very much, boys.
Beautiful. We actually do have the Ferrari driver in here, Marty. We've got G-Force in here for the first time. So G-Force, mate, 3rd in qualifying. I believe you got caught up in the sprint, P12, I think, and then really strong finish in the feature to get up there on the podium. I think you had to run long on those hards at the end, if I'm correct, and just run us through a bit of your day there, mate.
Yeah. Well, I guess it wasn't a bad quali. It wasn't great though. It was my banker lap, and I messed up my last lap, which would have been a 0.0, but you know, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, the sprint race was not great. It was going fine. I didn't have much pace in the race. I don't know why. It just is what it is. But yeah, and then on that restart, I don't think I got taken out. I think it was just a racing incident. A bit unfortunate. I just have so much more grip than the other guys. It's hard to know what they're doing and stuff. And yeah, it put me in a pretty bad situation for the race starting in P12. I think it was P12. I don't remember. But, I think I did all I could in the actual race. So yeah, I'm pretty happy.
When you say a 0.0, do you mean a 20.0?
Yeah.
Wow, what is your TT time?
I think it's a 0.3.
Yikes! And you were on track to do a 0.0 in this qualifying.
Fair, though, yeah, but when you go out, then you kind of all the pressure comes off, so you can kind of just send it. So I don't think I would have done that fast, but yeah, it was good.
It was possible. Yeah.
Possible. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That's rapid.
Yeah, that's fucking huge. Yeah, so that's all right.
That's all right.
Every now and then. Did outstanding though, as you said, to move through the field in from P12 up to P3. It was such classy drivers out there. It's not an easy thing to do. So as you said, you had a bit more grip and you used it to your advantage out there, Leo. And outstanding drive. You've been in really good form, and as Prince said, if you had attended a few races earlier on, you'd be right up there pushing him. So hopefully we get a good run to see you more often than not as we move into the second part of the season, and you can push for a championship. And outstanding to have you at Ferrari. So thanks for joining us, and hopefully we'll see you next weekend, mate.
Yeah, all good. Thanks, boys.
Beauty, Marty. All right. Well, that's round 8 here at Inters Racing League at Qatar. It was another exciting weekend. That'll wrap it up here for the weekend. So how about just a few final words to to get us out of here, and look forward to Silverstone in round 9.
Yep, well, that was interesting to see Qatar on the calendar. What a fantastic track, flat out, more flat out than a pancake, bro. So more flat out than a pancake. I guess that's all she wrote. We'll move on to round 9, Silverstone next week. A good track. I believe you are very rapid around there, so can't wait to see what can happen. And that's about it. So I guess we might as well sign off. As ever, I have been your host, Marty B. And with me, my good mate, Broseph Cooper, up here in Sky Race Control. And we will see you in 7 days on Sunday for round 9 at Silverstone. Peace.
Peace.